lower velocity weapon, the maneuverability of the Talon helps to make up for some of it. Yeah, those shred really fast. But again, we're doing like 2.7k something damage per second. They can fire for about 4 times longer than the Revenant at the same size, but their velocity is lower, so there's a bit of a trade-off there. The Talon definitely has the maneuverability to get in close and dodge and put those Gatlings to the most effective use, too. Haven't tried this yet, so it should be fairly interesting. But I think what we're going to do is, I think we're going to take out the Talon. The Talon is a ship that was basically the meta for a small period of time when it released. And then they changed a bunch of things with ship handling and flattening the weapon balance and a bunch of other things that basically stripped it of basically all of its advantages. Not only did it get stripped of all of its advantages, the weapon balance, flattening the weapon curve, basically meant that it underperforms now because it only has 2 weapons. Generally, the more weapons you have currently, the better off it is, just due to the way that burst and sustained damage and other things work. So the Talons kind of got left behind, where it only has 2 weapons, even though they're both size 4s. Size 4s ain't what they used to be. Hey, how's it going? The exception to the rule that I was talking about with size 4s is these guys, the AD4Bs. So these are new, very recently added. They're Gatlings, size 4. And unlike the other size 4 Gatling that's currently in the game, they actually have a decent amount of ballistics ammunition. So we can get about 60 seconds, little under 60 seconds of sustained firepower from these things, comparing it to something like the Revenant, which only gets around, say, about a quarter of that. So we actually get, you know, the potential to kill more than a few targets. Additionally, they also do, combined between these two, over 2.5, 2.6, 2.7k DPS. So compared to another ship that can run a full ballistic loadout in the Talon size category, that puts the Talon ahead. The disadvantage, though, is that unlike the Revenant, or if we went with repeaters, we are losing about half their velocity, because these Gatlings, even though they're size 4, they are 700 meter per second velocity instead of 1400 meters per second velocity. So we're going to lose out a little bit there. Alright, let's do a bounty in this thing and try out these twin size 4 AD4B Gatlings. Still seems very maneuverable, so that's good. I probably would have done 3 monitors if not for lack of physical space. Plus I already got, like, I have things like the targeting computer that I need to worry about, so I can't really necessarily make use of that space, so the ultra wide, super ultra wide is kind of the best option for me. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm not going to go with VR with a setup like this, because what's the point of having VR and a sim pit that's physicalized? There really isn't. Plus, I'd have to figure out how to do stuff like the targeting computer, some of the other stuff that I've set up. I mean, it wouldn't be hard, but, you know, it would be... It's changing everything I've already done at this point. Alright, let's just talk a little bit about here. We have limited ammo. We want to take out the bounty. We need to not take a lot of damage. So what we're going to try to do is we're just going to try to pull them apart. Some of the faster ships will be able to chase us. The slower ships really won't be able to. So once we do that, that'll help us not take so much fire. Okay, so that took a little bit over half of our ammo in order to do. So it looks like we'd be reloading after every bounty or every second bounty if we're using this loadout. The good thing though is we can pretty much keep power off weapons. We don't really need to have any power on weapons with this loadout. But it's going to eat ammo really fast. So we could take out the rest of these. So strategy-wise, we could take out the rest of these guys in terms of getting call to arms bonuses. Or we could try to book it for another bounty. Because right now we're at 603 of 1150 ammo. So it's not very viable long term. I think from the playing it safe side, you'd probably be better doing the call to arms bonuses. So actually, I should have accepted that earlier. Let's just see if we have enough ammo to kind of eliminate some of these other escorts. Because sometimes the escort ships are different ships than the bounty. So we might be able to eliminate a couple of them. Alright, so that was the Gladius destroyed. We're at 358 for ammo. Looks like we have a saber and a cutlass remaining, so I would recommend taking out the cutlass, or the saber rather, in this situation, because NPC sabers are pretty fragile usually. So let's see if we can eliminate him. Yeah, just like that already I've broken a part off of him. Here's the weapon low warning. Alright, so there's the saber taken care of. And we have about 181 rounds. About 200 rounds in one gun. Let's see if we can take out the last ship. Nope. I've missed a few shots at the end there. I probably could have done it. His hull is basically red. We're gonna have to restock anyway, so... We also burn through 50% of our fuel doing that, so yeah, you're not going to be able to get more than probably 1 or 2 bounties using this loadout in this ship. It does a fairly good job of cutting through them though, so I mean we are doing in the realm of 2.7k damage per second, so yeah, at least just going back through the chat here, guys, because I was involved in combat. Yeah, like for example, like these AD4Bs actually have at least a decent amount of ammo to them. They have more than the repeater, not repeaters. They have more than the revenants, so at least they're somewhat okay. They can fire for about 4 times longer than the revenant at the same size, but their velocity is lower, so there's a bit of a trade-off there. Oh, that's such a pretty quantum on this thing. We got a Freelancer Miss, an F7C Hornet, Cutlass Black, and a Valkyrie. And our target is the Valkyrie. I'm going to try to pull them up a little bit through the cloud. That'll help break a couple of the ships apart. Even though this is a lower velocity weapon, the maneuverability of the Talon helps to make up for some of it. Yeah, those shred really fast. But again, we're doing like 2.7k something damage per second. We just run out of ammo real fast. Ooh, some jumpiness. I find lag pip helps a lot too.
Target destroyed.
Yeah, so you basically have just enough ammo to deal with the bounty and the other targets around it, and then you can reload. So let's just do a sanity check on this here. Let's not go to Barton. Let's go to Dobbs. No, actually Dobbs is not what we want. Anderson. Because all of these outposts now have the capability of refueling, repairing, reloading, and they seem to work fairly consistently. So, yeah, we don't have to worry about going back to a space station every time anymore. So, sanity check. Well, we're only spending 224 on ammo. So we're really not taking a hit. We're spending a little bit on fuel, but as you can see, we're not burning that much hydrogen depending on where the bounty is. So it's usable. It's definitely usable. Yeah, it's a good point, Blade. A lot of them are still armistice zones too. So if you're looking to run and not get shot up as a criminal, like from an efficiency standpoint, it's not efficient because you have to go and reload so frequently. So you're probably better off in other ships currently if you're doing this kind of thing in order to chain them together to make as much money as possible. But again, it's not always about making as much money as possible. Sometimes it's about trying things and having fun. Yes, you can kill hammerheads with torpedoes, but at least for me, that's not the most fun way to kill them. It's a warden. Excellent. That's what this will shred very quickly. The only targets we really don't like are hurricanes in VHRTs because of their maneuverability compared to the velocity of these Gatlings. Oh man, that just it just annihilates. The Talon definitely has the maneuverability to get in close and dodge and put those Gatlings to the most effective use too. You want to make sure you're close so that you're not losing out to the spread on the Gatlings. Those faster ships are a little bit harder to target though, just because of their low velocity compared to, say, like the Revenant. They're also a little bit better at maneuvering so you're not hitting one of their larger aspects. You also gotta aim a little bit ahead of what the pip indicates too. Well, that was perfect timing. We left one left though. Oh, there's a hostile Aurora here. Oops. Somebody must have a bounty mission and it spawned right on top of Edmund. Oh, it's an M50.
Target destroyed.
So yeah, Talon. Conclusion. It's fun. It's not the most efficient. I like how it flies. It kind of got the short end of the stick with the weaponry balance. But those AD4Bs on it, they're fun. You probably have to do that or a couple of cannons in order to approach what you can get on some of the other light fighters right now. Because, like I said earlier, more guns right now is generally better. Just with how the damage scaling works. Yeah, those big old gats. I like them on there. But yeah, not the most efficient option, but I think there's some fun to be had with it. There's also the challenge of conserving the ammo to kill targets. Practice a little trigger discipline that way by using the Gatlings, and at least it's enough to actually kill the thing, even if you're not landing every single shot, unlike some of the other weapons that don't have a lot of ballistics ammo. So I think I might keep trying that.